Hello, Dr. Sumathi.
Good
Good
evening.
evening and namaskar. I welcome you to my podcast जहाँ पे आज हम बात करने वाले हैं आपके साथ. So before that, I would tell it to my community, जो हमारी audience है, जो हमारी जनता है. Thank you so much for coming to this video. And आज हमारे साथ हैं Platinum NLP Master Trainer Dr. Sumathi Narayanan. डॉक्टर सुमति नारायण पिछले 40 साल से भी ज्यादा टाइम से कॉर्पोरेट ट्रेनिंग्स एंड एनएलपी क्लासेस कर रही हैं. लोगों को इन्होंने काफी कुछ सिखाया है एनएलपी के लिए. एंड आज हम डॉक्टर सुमति से बात करेंगे अबाउट द एनएलपी प्रैक्टिसेस, टेक्निक्स और एनएलपी को यूज करके हम अपने लाइफ को कैसे चेंज कर सकते हैं, हम अपने लाइफ को एक प्रोडक्टिव वे में कैसे आगे ले जा सकते हैं, एंड हाउ इट इज इम्पैक्टिंग योर लाइफ, your decisions and your mindset. So we are going to talk about it. It's going to be a complete live session जिसके अंदर हम काफी सारी और चीजें भी बात करेंगे on different verticals, on different occupation, how it is helpful and how important it is to have your control on your subconscious mind. So welcome Dr. Sumathi ma'am. Thank you for joining us today on this particular exclusive webinar with me.
Good
First
evening.
of all,
Thank you so much for inviting me. It's a pleasure to share my thoughts, especially with you. It's absolutely a very good opportunity for people to know about NLP, so they will also benefit from it. Thank you so much.
right. So my first question here is, what is NLP? In a very simple form, if a layman is asking, how can you describe in a very simplest form?
See, people don't realize that what we tell ourselves all the time affects us. Meaning, like, when I'm say I'm happy, then the words, thoughts, everything in my mind is happy. When I'm tensed, everything about me is very tensed. And this is a pattern that I have, and I don't know how to come out of it. And then I think this is me. This is the final one. I can never change this behavior of mine. So I can never become confident, or it's very difficult. So then people don't realize the way they are experiencing themselves and the others decides their quality of life. हम अपने बारे में जो सोचते हैं वही सच माना जाता है, वही हो जाएगा. तो उसे बदलने के लिए हमें करना है, हमें समझना है कि हमने कैसा समझा अपने आप को. How do I understand my own experience? That is what न्यूरो लिंग्विस्टिक प्रोग्रामिंग, हमारे नर्व के बारे में और हमारे भाषा के बारे में, ये दोनों जब कंबाइन होते हैं वो प्रोग्रामिंग हो जाता है. आजकल सबको प्रोग्रामिंग मालूम है, यानी कि ये होगा तो वो होगा, अगर हम ऐसे सोचेंगे तो ऐसा असर पड़ेगा. सो डर के मारे अगर मेरा दिल धड़क रहा है, पैनिक हो रहा है, आजकल ये सब बहुत कॉमन वर्ड्स हो गया है, वहां से बाहर आने के लिए मैं क्या करूं. ये डर है मेरे लोगों को, फ्यूचर के बारे में सोचा सोचा तो फिर बहुत घबराहट होती, नींद खराब हो जाता है. वो उनको सोचने का तरीका बदलना है, लेकिन वो फंस जाते हैं कि बदलाव मैं नहीं ला सकता हूँ, मैं इसमें फंस गया हूँ, ये मेरा जिंदगी बर्बाद हो गया. तो people do not realize NLP is about choosing to change the way we think about ourselves, with the way we understand about ourselves and others and life and situations. हमारे बारे में, औरों के बारे में और जिंदगी में जो भी घटनाएं होते हैं उसे समझने में, बदलाव लाने से हमारी जिंदगी बिल्कुल बदल जाएगा. ये शक्ति हम हरेक में है. तो इसे समझना ही न्यूरो लिंग्विस्टिक प्रोग्रामिंग है, एनएलपी है.
एक चीज मैं और भी पूछना चाहूंगा. आई थिंक इट इज अ क्वाइट पर्सनल क्वेश्चन, बट स्टिल आई वांट टू अंडरस्टैंड how you came into NLP. As I see, you have been into NLP training and coaching and corporate training from a very long time, like more than 40 years, 45 years. तो 45 years पहले आपको कैसे आइडिया हुआ that it is going to be very important? Because आज तो इंटरनेट है, हर किसी के पास कहीं ना कहीं से कुछ इंफॉर्मेशन आ जाती है. बट बिफोर दैट 40 years आपने कैसे वो समझा एंड आपको कैसे लगा कि NLP is going to be your tool या आपको NLP करना चाहिए? How you came into NLP training?
शुरुआत में तो एनएलपी के बारे में जानकारी ज्यादा नहीं थी, क्योंकि तब ट्रांजैक्शनल एनालिसिस की जानकारी थी. मैं और मेरा हस्बैंड, वी वर ऑर्गेनाइजिंग प्रोग्राम्स फॉर सेल्फ डेवलपमेंट, एंड वन ऑफ द प्रोग्राम्स दैट वी वर डूइंग, टू प्रोग्राम्स आई कैन से, हिप्नोसिस एंड ट्रांजैक्शनल एनालिसिस. इनका बहुत सारा हमने ऑर्गेनाइज किया. जो भी ऑर्गेनाइज किया मैंने अटेंड किया, और फिर मुझे पर्सनली बहुत बदलाव लाया मेरी जिंदगी में। और मैंने सोचा कि अरे एक ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम में बैठ के सोच के मैं बदल सकती हूँ। और फिर अभी मेरा मेरा बहुत गुस्सा आता था, अभी गुस्सा नहीं आ रहा है। मुझे सोचने का तरीका बदल गया है। मुझे बहुत अच्छी ढंग से क्लियरली आई एम एबल टू थिंक। तो ये बदलाव जब आया तो फिर मैंने तय किया कि मैं जिंदगी में एक ट्रेनर बनूंगी, जो 2 घंटा 3 घंटा बैठ के सुन के अपना जिंदगी बदल बदल सकते हैं। ये शक्ति उनमें है, इसे महसूस दिलाना है। तो फिर क्या हुआ, जब हमें ट्रांजैक्शन एनालिसिस के 20 बरस हिप्नोसिस और ट्रांजैक्शन एनालिसिस चलता था। देन एनएलपी का प्रोग्राम आया। डॉक्टर रिचर्ड बैंडलर जो को फाउंडर है, उन्होंने एक प्रोग्राम बैंगलोर में किया जो हमने ऑर्गेनाइज किया। तो वो अटेंड करने वक्त जो भी बदलाव मैं चाहती थी, जिसके लिए बहुत टाइम लेता था और फिर आसान भी नहीं था, किसी और से देखो ना, मुझे ये लगा, ये हुआ, इतना दर्द, आज ही मैं सोचूं तो बहुत मेरा कांप रहा है, वैसा लोगों लोगों पीपल आर स्टक इन दैट एक्सपीरियंस। सो और इस एनएलपी जब मैंने वो वर्कशॉप मैंने अटेंड किया, तो फिर दो चीज मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा। हमें तो किस विषय पर मैं अपसेट हूँ मुझे बताने की जरूरत नहीं है। यानी कि जो मुझे मदद कर रहे हैं वो पूछेंगे कहाँ दिख रहा है, वो प्रॉब्लम कहाँ फील कर रहे हैं, उधर जाके वो बदल देते हैं। ये नहीं पूछ रहे किसने क्या तुमको किया, क्या बोला, क्या, वो सब बात करने के लिए भी नहीं छोड़ेंगे, क्योंकि इट इज अ कंटेंट फ्री प्रोसेस। तो किसी और से मेरा सीक्रेट्स बताने की जरूरत नहीं है। यही बताना है कि मैं गुस्से में हूँ या दर्द में हूँ या दुख में हूँ, वो मुझे बताना है। तो फिर ऐसा हुआ, और फिर तो जो भी बदलाव हमने वो 10 दिन में किया, बहुत अच्छा लगा, जल्दी हुआ, फटाफट हुआ। ऐसा ये कैसा हो सकता है? देन आई अंडरस्टूड द पावर ऑफ न्यूरल नेटवर्क। हमारे दिमाग में जो नर्व्स है, न्यूरल नेटवर्क है, उसमें बदलाव लाने से जो भी बदलाव हम करते हैं वो परमानेंट हो जाता है। जैसे कि मैं कंपैरिजन के लिए बोलती हूँ, हम सब वी नो कंप्यूटर्स। कंप्यूटर में एक फाइल खोलती हूँ, वर्ड डॉक्यूमेंट लेटर से मैं कुछ टाइप करती हूँ, सेव करती हूँ एक नेम में, एंड देन आई एम कीपिंग इट इन माय डॉक्यूमेंट्स। देन मैं ओपन दैट वन एंड आई डू सम मोर वर्क। तो मैं उस सेव को चेंज करती, सॉरी, चेंज को सेव करती हूँ। उसके बाद जब मैं बंद करती हूँ तो दोबारा हो गया। थर्ड टाइम एंड आई एम ओपनिंग, तीसरी बार मैं जब खोलती हूँ तो फिर जो बदलाव हुआ था वो फाइल आएगा। दैट इज अ प्रिंसिपल, ये दैट प्रिंसिपल इज फ्रॉम द ब्रेन। सो हमने अंदर जाके झांक के जिस बदलाव मैंने किया है मेरे मेमोरीज में, मेरे याददाश्त में मैंने किया है, वो रह जाता है। तो फिर हमारा जो दुख था वो, उसका असर नहीं होता है। हम किसी के मन से वी कैन नॉट इरेज मेमोरीज। हम किसी इंसिडेंट हुआ है उसको हम बिल्कुल इरेज नहीं कर सकते, नहीं है वैसे नहीं कर सकते हैं, वो रहेगा ही, क्योंकि वो न्यूरल नेटवर्क है। लेकिन वो उसका असर जो शरीर पे पड़ा है, दुख पे पड़ा है, दिल धड़कने लगता है, वो सब नहीं होगा। तो उसका वी कट ऑफ द फीलिंग्स फ्रॉम दैट मेमोरी, बिकॉज ऑल ऑफ अस लिव इन अ मेमोरी। जो हुआ 20 बरस पहले या 20 दिन पहले आज भी तंग कर रहा है, तो वो मेमोरी इज अलाइव हियर। तो हम वो इंसिडेंट के बारे में छोड़ दिए, जो हम याद रखते हैं वही हमें डिस्टर्ब करता है, उस पर जाके हम काम करते हैं।
ग्रेट मैम। मुझे थोड़ा सा आप ये भी समझना था कि हाउ वाज योर एक्सपीरियंस विद डॉक्टर रिचर्ड बैंडलर, बिकॉज ही इज द को
बैंडलर, डॉक्टर रिचर्ड
फाउंडर।
बैंडलर का लीग ही अलग है। उनका बात करने का तरीका, ही वॉज ऑलवेज प्रोग्रामिंग अस टू चेंज यूजिंग एवरी ट्रिक इन द ट्रेड इन एनएलपी। शब्दों में, एक्सरसाइज में, जो भी वो बात करते थे, हमें सुनते सुनते हम बदल जाएंगे। दैट इज कॉन्वर्सेशनल हिप्नोसिस वी से, क्योंकि एनएलपी का रूट है हिप्नोसिस और फैमिली थेरेपी में। तो उन्होंने कैसे भाषा से ही उन्होंने बदलाव लाया था लोगों को, दवा नहीं दिया था। दे डिडंट गिव मेडिसिन, दे वर थेरेपिस्ट हु वर वर्किंग ऑन पीपल। सो वो जो आइडियाज जो उन्होंने लिया और फिर उस सेशंस का सब ट्रांसक्रिप्शन किया, तो उन्हें लगा कि इनका बात करने का तरीका अलग है। उसका एनालाइज किया, पैटर्न्स को आइडेंटिफाई किया, तो अगर ये कर सकते हैं तो हम भी कर सकते हैं। तो दिस इज बिकेम एनएलपी स्टार्टेड विथ स्टडिंग एक्सेलेंस, दैट इज व्हाट रिचर्ड बैंडलर डिड। तो उन्होंने और उसके पार्टनर जॉन ग्रिंडर, दोनों ने इसको एक एक भाषा और न्यूरो लिंग्विस्टिक प्रोग्रामिंग करके एक नई सोच या नई अप्रोच टू अंडरस्टैंड ह्यूमन बिहेवियर 1960s में किया। लेकिन वो पॉपुलर नहीं हुआ तब, जबकि टोनी रॉबिन्स वैसे लोग कहने लगे हम सब एनएलपी में ट्रेनिंग लिया है रचित बैंडलर हैज trained us. So I'm very happy and proud that Richard Bandler was the first trainer for me. 10 days of training. He was outstanding. He was like, हम सोचते हैं we have to be having ऐसा होना चाहिए ट्रेनर वैसा होना चाहिए पोलाइट होना चाहिए वो पोलाइट की बात ही नहीं है वो उनका भाषा अलग था लेकिन he was a very powerful genius in order to know where exactly to hit where exactly to make the change. He calls it change work. तो वो देखे देखे हम पहचान लेते हैं कि एक ही शब्द में सीसी का जिंदगी बदल सकता है.
Uh, as you already know, I'm working with coaches. So I came across different modalities, affirmation, manifestation, and ho'oponopono, right? There are many things that people do in order to bring change in their life, get some abundance, get some focus, and then achieve their expectations. Do you see NLP as the core or as the root of all these modalities?
ऐसे नहीं बोल सकते हैं एनएलपी इज वन ऑफ द टूल्स से एक ही मन है इस मन में दुख या ब्लॉक है अभी अभी आई वांट टू बिकम अ सीईओ मैनेजर लेकिन अंदर ही अंदर आई फील आई एम नॉट केपेबल ऐसे नहीं है कि आई एम नॉट केपेबल बट माई वन पार्ट ऑफ मी इज ब्लॉकिंग अनदर पार्ट फ्रॉम बिकमिंग सक्सेसफुल so that is because I am talking to myself saying I'm not good. So coaches have to remove that block. So coach क्या कहते हैं इसको निकालने के लिए आपको क्या करना है तो चाहे वो होप न हो व्हाट इज अफर्मेशन इफ यू लुक एट द एंटायर Vedantic principles, it's all affirmations, but people didn't know. If you look at affirmations, seems to be a Western concept. It's not. Everything is you have the power, you have the power, you have the power, you have the power to create, you have the power to win, you have the power to understand, you have the power to lead, you have the power to bring peace, you have the power to, remove negativity from the world. All these are affirmations. So when one part of me says, hey, you're not capable, another part of me says, if I was not capable, why am I dreaming of becoming a CEO? So now I want to become, then these blocks have to be removed. And this is where the coach's role comes. The coach may use several tools, but among the tools, even people who have come to coaches who have come to us, come to the basic program have said some of the ways of questioning and easy exercises in NLP where the coach, usually in coaching, they don't go into the psychological domain. They will only go to the behavioral domain. आप ऐसे बिहेव करते हैं इसे आप बदलाव ला सकते दे कांट गो इनटू द थेरेपी वर्क because they are not that is not their job so when they find that the client has a problem they will say go for therapy and come back then we will proceed with the work so the coaches have to deal with that behavioral and to do that NLP goes in and makes a change very fast and so within half an hour the coachee will feel yeah I can no, that thought is gone. It's no longer coming because that has been substituted by another positive thought. So NLP makes those jugalbandi.
So, what are the core principles of NLP if I need to understand?
One is that, it's all about you, your thoughts, your actions, your words. But actually, it is me and my thoughts which brings about all my actions and behavior. So when I understand that the first topic is perception. So how we understand the world is not permanent. जैसे अभी फॉर एग्जाम्पल एक एक्सीडेंट हुआ 10 बंदों ने देखा 10 of them have seen one accident. Will all the 10 give the same version?
No.
थोड़ा थोड़ा बदल जाता है क्यों एक ही तो इंसिडेंट है लेकिन 10 ways. Why? Which means that none of us receive the outside world the same way. Which just means it is my version of the reality. तो मैं क्या सोचती हूँ I can only see from my version. आपका देखने का तरीका अलग हो सकता है बट इफ आई से माई वे इज करेक्ट योर वे इज रॉन्ग I am actually creating problem because you will think your way is right and my way is wrong. This is the basic misunderstanding everywhere we have. It
That is the basic conflict between people.
हाँ so I मेरा जब when I am having the power and authority I will say do it my way or take the highway. But if it is an equal, now today you can't use that power in the workplace. So then if it is even if it is a number one of the company, he has to get along with people. He has to get perspectives. So then, how we perceive the world, the reality is the first starting point to realize देयर इज नथिंग कॉल्ड रियलिटी। अगर मैं कहूँ तो फिर आपको मानना जरा मुश्किल होगा। अगर एक ही रियलिटी है तो एक ही तरह से देखना है ना। तो इसका मतलब है वो जो इंसिडेंट जो हुआ है दैट इज नॉट द कॉज, द इंटरप्रेटर इज द कॉस्ट, द कॉज। सो मैं जब सोचती हूँ कि टेक इट एज एन एग्जाम्पल ऑफ मेरे बॉस ने मेरे कलीग को शाबाशी दिया, लेकिन ही डिडंट अप्रिशिएट मी, ही डजंट लाइक मी। एक कॉमन थिंग, ही लाइक्स है, चमचागिरी कर दिया, वो उसके लिए किया, लेकिन मुझे उसने रिकग्नाइज ही किया, मैंने कितना काम किया लेकिन उन्होंने मुझे देखा ही नहीं। सो देन आई एम थिंकिंग, instead of understanding why he appreciated my colleague, I am putting my interpretation कि he doesn't like me। तो उस विश्वास से मैं जब उनसे बात कर रही हूँ, I will be prejudiced, but I think I'm right। अगर so then NLP is about choices। If I realize this is not the only way to think about it, and I have the choice to change my mind, so Richard Bandler says people suffer not because we don't have enough choices in life, it is because they are limited by the way they are seeing and think that's the only way to see it। So choice hona both, can I choose to understand how come he is appreciating this person? Is there a real good job there? Is there something I can learn? And I can ask my boss, is there something I should do specifically? So I can also do what you like, the way you like. Then I'm building a relationship. Work is about relationship. Life is about relationship. Your quality of your life depends on the quality of your relationships, both in the personal life and in the professional life. So then when we are looking at it, these misunderstandings, oh, so you're looking at it like this. Okay, I understand now where you're coming from. Now, what if I have a question? Can I ask you? And then I ask this question, the person would not have thought about that angle. We are creating understanding in a common pool. नहीं तो क्या हो जाता है, तेरा मेरा तेरा मेरा तेरा मेरा, झगड़ा हो जाता है, इट्स माय आइडिया एंड योर आइडिया एंड हु इज बिगर। सो द पर्सन हु हैज मोर पावर विल पुश एजेंडा, द पर्सन हु हैज लेस पावर थिंक ये जिंदगी है, मेरा नसीब है यार, यहाँ आके मैं अटके गया। सो वेदर इट इज अ मैरिड रिलेशनशिप or parents to children or boss to team members or coach to coachee, this is the common thing, so we need to understand perspectives. This is one. Another is, how do you build rapport with people instantly so that we'll be able to connect and communicate? So NLP is a very powerful tool for communication. So कैसे हम ब्रिंग द प्लेजेंटनेस इन रिलेशनशिप, सो किसी को हम हमें सुनने के लिए चाहेंगे और वो जो कहते हैं हम सुनेंगे, तो फिर अंडरस्टैंडिंग हो जाएगा, तो फिर एक साथ काम कर सकते हैं। सो हाउ डू यू वेरी योर कम्युनिकेशन टू सूट द ओकेजन? अगर किसी से कुछ मिसअंडरस्टैंडिंग हो गया तो फिर उसको परमानेंट नहीं करना चाहिए। कि व्हाट हैपेंस इज, एक एक मिसअंडरस्टैंडिंग हो गया, जिंदगी भर ले जाएंगे, मैं कभी नहीं भूलेगा करके, टेक दिस कचड़ा दे विल टेक टिल द एंड। लेकिन अगर बैठ के सोचेंगे तो फिर नो, ये रिश्ता मेरे लिए इंपॉर्टेंट है क्योंकि ये मेरा बॉस है और इट इज माई लाइफ पार्टनर, सो मुझे उसको ठीक करवाना है, क्योंकि नाउ आई अंडरस्टैंड सब रियलिटी कुछ ऐसा ही नहीं है, मेरा है, वो आपका भी मैं सुन लूँ तो फिर हम बदलाव ला सकते हैं हमारे वर्किंग रिलेशनशिप। सो रैपो बिल्डिंग इज अनदर वन। एंड थर्ड इज, द वे वी आर यूजिंग अवर सेंसेस, उसमें we bring changes, like we see better, we hear better, and we get all the senses involved, we get better quality of information, so हमारे communication becomes more rich। And then there are other things like, meta language patterns, meta model questions, जो अगर एक जो this example I gave you, किसने कहा कि मेरा बॉस उसको ही पसंद करता है, मुझे नहीं, तो फिर अगर मैं पूछूं ऐसे क्यों आप सोच रहे हैं, तो उसको ऐसा लगा कि मैंने उसको समझा नहीं। अगर मैं ऐसे पूछूं कि हाउ डू यू से दैट ही डजंट लाइक यू, so he says he appreciated him, not me। so how does him appreciating him mean he doesn't like you? दो अलग अलग चीज सोच है, उसको हम कंबाइन करके एक ओपिनियन बना देते हैं, तो फिर उसको एक प्रश्न पूछ के उसको हम छुड़वा सकते हैं। तो देन दिस पर्सन इज, डिड ही टेल यू, बोला नहीं, कि हैज ही एनी टाइम अप्रिशिएटेड यू? या वंस ही हैज डन। सो वो ऐसे पोजीशन से कि मेरा बॉस मुझे पसंद नहीं करता है, वहां से थोड़ा तो किया है, तो फिर उसका ओपिनियन बदल जाता है, तो फिर ही इज विलिंग टू वर्क। एक एक जगह एक ऐसा एग्जांपल मैं दे सकती हूँ कि वो वाइस प्रेसिडेंट था, उसका बॉस बॉसी था, उसको सबके सामने इंसल्ट करता था, एंड देन ही डिडंट नो हाउ टू कम आउट ऑफ इट, एंड देन ही वर्कड ऑन इट। आई गिव हिम अ लॉट ऑफ प्रोसेसेस, एनएलपी प्रोसेसेस टू वर्क ऑन हिमसेल्फ, बिकॉज मेरे अंदर मान लूंगी, इफ आई डोंट, आई लैक कॉन्फिडेंस, आई विल टेक इंसल्ट्स फ्रॉम पीपल, मुझे वो हिम्मत नहीं है चुप रहो बोलने के लिए। हम चुप रहो बोल भी नहीं सकते हैं, उसका तरीका है. So he learned that, and when the next time the boss started insulting, he said, "Stop! I don't want to be talked to like this. If you're going to continue, I don't want to continue this meeting." उसने एक, without anger, he drew a line. The boss was shocked because in front of him, everybody, he said that. Then उसको सोचने लगा, no, no, don't get me wrong. It wasn't okay. Let's discuss the issue. तो उस दिन से उसको इंसल्ट करना छोड़ दिया. तो एक ही डायलॉग से उसने वो रिलेशनशिप बदल दिया. दे आर वर्किंग वेरी वेल. ऐसा है ना कि व्हेन पीपल गेट अवे विथ देयर पैटर्न्स, वो समझते नहीं कि वो गलत है. अभी तक रिजल्ट्स मिला है तो मैं क्यों बदलूं? सो बदलाव लाने के लिए आई नीड टू बी अलर्ट, आई नीड टू बी सीइंग, एम आई गेटिंग द बेस्ट आउट ऑफ माई टीम, ही इज नॉट वर्किंग वेरी वेल, क्या हुआ, उसको बुला के कम्युनिकेट करके पूछना है क्या प्रॉब्लम है, उसको सॉल्व करना है. दैट्स अ मार्क ऑफ अ लीडर. अगर मैं ओपिनियनेटेड रह दूँ, ये अच्छा नहीं है, वो अच्छा नहीं करेंगे, तो किसका काम, किससे काम कर रहे हैं? सो दैट इज व्हाट इज अ चेंज.
Right. One more thing I wanted to know, what major visible changes someone can see by practicing NLP or learning NLP? Two
NLP,
or three.
yeah, NLP is an attitude. NLP is a way of life. NLP में टेक्निक्स भी आपने पूछा और क्या है. NLP में मैंने जस्ट थ्री प्रिंसिपल्स, देयर इज समथिंग कॉल्ड प्री सपोजिशंस. वो प्री सपोजिशन एक विश्वास है कि हर बिहेवियर में कुछ पॉजिटिव है. इसे मानना जरा मुश्किल है. मुझसे कोई गुस्सा कर रहा है तो मैं कैसे मान लूं कि वो उसका पॉजिटिव इंटेंशन है? लेकिन अगर मैं सोचूं तो फिर वो मुझे गलत, मेरे गलती से मुझे बाहर लाना चाहता है. अगर मैं वैसे सोचूं तो वो पॉजिटिव इंटेंशन दिखेगा. Again, when you look at the presupposition, like, uh, औरों को उनके नजरिया से मिलिए. You meet the other person in their model of the world. तो फिर that becomes a kind of a building, a bridging of understanding. Another presupposition is there is no failure. It is only feedback. Failure करके बैठ जाएंगे तो फिर we cannot come out of it. But if you take it as a feedback, ओके, क्या मैंने गलत किया उसको हम ठीक कर लेंगे, एंड देन वी कैन करेक्ट इट. दिस इज व्हाट वर्ल्ड ओवर इम्प्रूवमेंट इज ऑल अबाउट. कॉन्टिन्यूअस इम्प्रूवमेंट, काइजन बोलते हैं ना, वो सब. सो दीज देयर आर अदर presuppositions also. Then we have things like anchoring, things like submodalities, those concepts and all that help us to have a technique. So when you say what is the change, that palpable change, noticeable change one can feel. For example, in my mind, मैंने एक इंटरव्यू, नॉट इंटरव्यू, प्रेजेंटेशन मैंने डिपार्टमेंट में की. आई डिड वन प्रेजेंटेशन एंड आई faltered, and whenever I remember it I feel, if only I was confident I could have handled it. So in NLP we have a process by which we go back to that memory and change the way you handle that, because that is haunting you today, and so you are afraid of the future. So instead of allowing this same to copy paste for the future and feel afraid, वहां जाके हम बदल जाते हैं. इट्स कॉल्ड चेंजिंग पर्सनल हिस्ट्री. सो वहां जाके, हाउ वुड यू हैव बिहेव्ड इफ यू आर कॉन्फिडेंट? सो देन आई डोंट नो हाउ टू बी कॉन्फिडेंट. इफ आई वाज न्यू हाउ टू बी कॉन्फिडेंट, आई वुड हैव बीन कॉन्फिडेंट. नो, देन वी टेक द रिसोर्स फ्रॉम दैट पर्सन्स मेमोरी इटसेल्फ. कहीं और तुमने कॉन्फिडेंट में किया ना, हाँ, व्हेन आई वाज डूइंग माय कॉलेज आई वाज द टॉप स्पीकर, आई वाज दिस, आई वाज दैट. उसको याद करो. सो वी विल टेक दैट cluster of behavior, body, mind, and words and everything. Take that, and there are instructions for it, and then go and make the change in the past. So we call it, how would you have, what would you see, hear, and feel when this confident self goes and works on it. So he says, if I had the confidence, and the mind will create a new situation. He says, I'm handling it very well. I'm looking at people and talking. People are laughing when I'm saying. They're understanding. They're very eager to listen to more. So his reactions and the other people's reactions also change. So then उसको लेके future में दबा दे, copy paste कर देंगे. Now imagine this confident person going and handling the next week's presentation. So he is already programming himself for a future event. This kind of techniques are there. In NLP, what is unique is there are specific techniques for fear, specific for bad memories, sad memories, disturbing memories. बहुत ट्रॉमा हो जाता है तो उसका एक अलग टेक्निक है. देन वी सम पीपल हैव दुविधा होता है ना, करना है नहीं करना है, हाउ डू वी बैलेंस इट. लोग, the whole world people have dilemma. So when we have dilemma, that is a technique for. So वैसा, and then to stop habits like smoking, like गुस्सा होना, procrastination, वो सब बदलने के लिए there's another technique. So it is, NLP is not about techniques, but it is about attitude change, and also techniques. So then, when I have changed my past memory in that, and I have programmed for the future event, when I'm in that event, my body physiology will tell me I'm confident. That is a palpable difference.
Right. Great to know that. As you mentioned, we can get rid of our bad habits like smoking or something.
Yeah,
So,
eating anything and everything, eating when we
right.
used to all.
So, what kind of training or what kind of procedure would you suggest for people who are like addicted to smoking, alcohol, or drugs? They want to quit, but they are not capable of making a uh, change or something, you can say. So, how they can leave these bad habits by using NLP?
See, there are three things he mentioned: alcohol, drugs, and smoking. Among these three, smoking is the easiest. Things like procrastination, things like not doing the work with good quality, not being on time, habits like eating food that you're not supposed to eat because there is a binge. See, in when we say every behavior has a positive intention, even the person's habit have a positive intention for that person. उसको कुछ सुकून मिल रहा है. When he is smoking or drinking, उसको he has some problem within him for which he is finding a release. So हम क्या करेंगे in it is not like everybody wants to become an addict. वे हो जाते हैं. So, is drug addiction and alcoholism have to be handled differently, not just with one NLP this thing alone. There are de-addiction programs that we have to go through, supported by NLP. It can help, but there are deeper issues with alcoholism and drug addiction. क्योंकि उनको बचपन में शायद कुछ trauma हुआ है, we don't know. But unless somebody has a background of suffering, they wouldn't take to these in order to cope with life. So first thing we tell them is not to judge themselves and say you this is one way your mind has found coping. Now let's teach the mind to cope in another healthy way. So this binge eating and sitting in the couch and eating lots, all those habits can be changed. Cultivating new habits can be done. So there are techniques for that. But then health wise, if somebody is steadfast in changing, these changes can be brought. Definitely. Like if somebody has to exercise every day, this is a universal problem. Exercise दररोज करने के लिए मन नहीं हो रहा है. So one part says get up in the morning, another part says सो जाओ. So when we merge all these things and the person gets up and goes in the morning, he finds more energy and he finds clarity during the day, and many things change because of that one change. So anywhere where health is involved, both the body and the mind are involved, we need to understand where it is coming from. जरा झांक के देखना है कि क्या हुआ है पास्ट में. Help the person heal there, then this habit will. Otherwise, judging ये गलत नहीं है, वो helpful नहीं है.
Uh, the way you said that about quitting these habits, procrastination, smoking, alcohol, or everything. So, the question is if I am learning something, I have a particular goal to achieve. Now I'm going through NLP, I'm learning NLP, and then doing it to achieve my goal, right? I can find the roadmap or I can learn things जिससे कि मेरा वो रास्ता clear हो जाएगा. I will be in situation to do it and achieve it. How sustainable it would be if I stop practicing NLP at a point. तो क्या हम उसके बाद भी कर सकते हैं achieve या वो result हमारे कम हो जाएंगे?
See, just like this, NLP change, like use the example you gave is goal setting. What happens is the mind conceives a goal. For that to happen, many things in me have to align. So we have a conscious mind and the unconscious mind. The conscious mind says, let's achieve this goal. The unconscious mind says, you can't. You are not good enough. So there are many negative messages going on. So we work on it. We work and remove these, change the language, all that. And then we visualize ये goal होगा तो क्या होगा. When I win, when I succeed in that goal, what will I see, hear and perceive और feel. उसको हम एक टेम्पलेट क्रिएट करते हैं क्या, जैसे कि आप गोल में सक्सेसफुल हो गए. So what this is, NLP came from hypnosis. I told you hypnosis is nowadays using NLP processes. It's reverse हो गया अभी. In all NLP conferences they are using sorry, in all hypnosis conferences worldwide, they are using NLP processes. So it's become like one. So when we look at okay, goal setting, there's a concept called timeline. हमको वक्त में पास्ट एक तरफ से है, फ्यूचर एक तरफ से है. हम हमारे पास्ट के बारे में कैसे सोचते हैं वो हमारा प्रेजेंट को अफेक्ट करेगा. टुडे व्हाट आई थिंक विल अफेक्ट माय फ्यूचर. How do I change it? I want to achieve this goal in my future, but in the present my unconscious mind says ये नहीं हो पाएगा. Businessmen, for example, startups, when they are having this big dream and they feel, do I have the ability to do all this? Do I have the capacity to do it? So instead of okay, present में अगर मैं सोचूं मेरा पास्ट मिस्टेक्स के बारे में, उसको मैंने रब नहीं किया, आई एम कैरिंग द मिस्टेक्स हियर एज मिस्टेक्स, देन डू नॉट लेट मी प्रोसीड. सो एक बार मैंने किया, वो सस्टेन नहीं होगा. वी हैव टू चेंज थ्रू एनएलपी प्रोसेस. वी आर चेंजिंग द न्यूरल नेटवर्क. That is the reason why NLP is not about everyday practice, it is everyday living. So then when I have done that for a few months, it has become part of my DNA. तो वो बदलाव सस्टेन हो जाएगा. And it is possible because I am choosing to do it. This is the most powerful message I want to give. No one has the power to change anybody else, but everybody has the power to change themselves. Everybody is waiting for somebody to come and change them. वो नहीं होगा क्योंकि each time somebody says okay get up in the morning and do, उसे नहीं होगा. You ask a student, हर दिन पढ़ना पड़ेगा अगर मार्क इंप्रूव करना है. हर दिन मेरे कौन मार्क, I can't do it. So how do you change a student's mind? I have helped thousands of students to overcome this mental block that I can't study well and this subject is hard. All those attitudinal this thing, I have worked on it using NLP process. Very fast it is. So when we are looking at change work, एक बार वो सक्सेस मिल जाएगा ना, देन मुड़ के नहीं देखेंगे. क्यों? एक बार मैंने किया ना, तो फिर if I can do it once, I can do it again. So then will the changes sustain? Yes. Even if it doesn't, immediately reapply the same technique क्योंकि आपने लिया है. So it is not like we are not here to serve NLP. NLP is here to serve us. It is only one tool.
What professions do you see that NLP is helpful? Especially my question is about coaches, about consultants, trainers, and then about business owners, startups, company owners, directors. So I'm talking in that perspective, but still I want to know what other areas also NLP can be very helpful.
See, it is like this. In the list that you said, what comes to my mind is sports people. For sports people, it is a big business. Today, they have a coach for the technique and a coach for the mind. Let me give it. I have personally helped a few people who have now become international players. I don't want to name them. But then here, the problem is I do one thing and then it's a mistake. I didn't get it. I got out or whatever, you know. Then the next moment, the internal dialogue will start, which kicks me. So the next when I have to shoot, I'm not ready. Because in between period, I have programmed myself for failure. नहीं हो पाएगा. In fact, you know, if you watch tennis players, you can know who has given up playing. Because वो उसको गलत कर देंगे, उसका चेहरे में दिखेगा. So, you know, when we teach them to look at that incident in a different way, so it doesn't affect them from memory, and give them something to do, engage themselves, so that will get them empowerment to go and do the next shot. Like the batsman, for example, when he's standing there, he has to think positive to see where can he place the ball. That is what makes a genius. So he can't guess what speed the ball is going to come, but he has to know where he can place the ball so he'll get a run. So instead of focusing on that, if he's thinking, she last one was a duck, zero mila, usi par atak ho jayega, then they can't. So we teach them, and these are very highly individualized. So what works for one person will not work for another person. It's not a standard formula. ये होगा तो वही करो. No. We teach them according to the where they get stuck. We give a reprogramming. So sports, for example, communication is another. How do you speak in the language they can understand? Do you have the flexibility? That is what was great about Richard Bandler and John Grinder. They never gave up until they get the results. So they say, you know, एक बार नहीं हुआ तो फिर छोड़ना मत. You have a goal, you have to go there. So for communication, it is very useful. Then you said business negotiation. What is business negotiation? Influencing the other to buy our service or our product. So then when we want, if I know what is that person's need, accordingly, I can package my product and present it to them. So for that, I need to have rapport with them. I need to have be listening, using their words, because when I use their words, convincing ho jayega. So for the first few moments, the NLP practitioner has to assess what is the pattern of the other person, what is the word he commonly uses. Then in business, there are, it's called magical words, 18 words, like easily, naturally. There is a whole language there. When we use it in your language, you make the other person, kar sakte hain, yeah, I know. So, for example, a woman went to buy a washing machine. What is her interest? Everybody says to make her job of washing clothes easy. No. She wants to have time to spend on other things in her life which are more valuable than washing clothes. So if the salesman talks about the dirt and everything, he's missed the point. But if he senses ma'am, this is only 20 minutes, so you can have the time for doing what you want in order to be healthier, in order to educate yourself, upgrade yourself, have your social circles. He's actually presenting the same mission to her, saying in a way that she will like it. Similarly, in a company, what they want, or if what they want is profitability. If we do not bring that in the presentation, they're not interested. What is their interest? So we need to see culturally, we come from a very hospitable culture. किसी को घर के लिए खाने के लिए बुलाएंगे तो we'll ask what do you want, and somewhere in our cuisine we will make something that they like. This common sense approach we have. Same thing in influencing people. NLP is not manipulation. NLP is about influencing people. So कैसे मैं उनको convince कर सकती हूँ कि this scale will give us profitability. I present the data, but I need to use my language in order to present so that they will be able to get convinced. So in a business proposition, oh, there are things like, what modality they are. Are they in the visual mode, or in the auditory mode, or in the kinesthetic mode? And then I match that, they will feel very comfortable. It is like talking to a computer in computer language.
Right.
Ah.
So I got your answer on this question. That was really nice to understand because s- unknowingly I'm using a couple of things in my own practice.
See,
So
like, if I may interrupt, NLP didn't come from books. It came from successful people. How do they communicate? So if you are doing it naturally, fantastic.
okay. So the next thing I want to know is, if someone has a very busy schedule or a very full packed schedule, you don't have time for NLP to learn or to like give it a particular time, ek ghanta, आधे ghanta. So what are the basic techniques that he can do in a day, in a daily life, जो भी हमारा दिन का routine है? Simply he can do couple of things in the whole day life, और वो करते करते he can achieve betterment in life.
See, it is like asking, when we do body healthy habits, you can't do one part alone. You have to do all the parts systematically. In an NLP program, what happens is, when I learn what I need for me, I'm not learning many others that I might need later. So we say, okay, if you learn only bits and pieces, the orientation is very important. Are you using NLP for therapy? For example, counseling is another area powerfully useful, which is the original area it came from. Another is in relationships. How do you improve relationships? So when we use NLP for different contexts, so today I may need in 4 areas, but so I will have techniques for that. Let us say it becomes like a mechanical thing. It is not an attitude then. इसके लिए ये plug कर दो ये ठीक हो जाएगा. No, there is a total package, and then when I myself may need something else where I don't have the technique for it. So comprehensively, they need to work on their communication, they need to work on their language patterns, they need to work on overcoming their past blocks, they need to work on programming their future to be successful. These are the 4 broad areas where they need to work, which can be generic, but has to be specific and individualized. What works for one person will not work for another. Technique will be the same, but you may take one technique which you like, and which you need. I may take a technique which I need.
So just give me one or two techniques, simple, a very short 1 minute technique that someone can apply in a day-to-day activities.
Would you like to do it as a volunteer?
Of
Because
course,
NLP doesn't work with fictitious examples.
Yes, of course, I would like to work on it.
So one thing because I don't still know your knowledge, your problem, and all that. But I just want to say one thing that happens when people have strain in relationships, which is a major thing. Like उसके बारे में सोचेंगे तो इसको गुस्सा आ जाएगा. Or if I think of that person, I get scared. I think of that person, I feel hatred in my pit of my stomach, fear. So there is somebody, each person, many people have somebody in that hit list. So you can't make that person disappear from your life because they are going to exist. Sometimes it will be a parent or a life partner. Both मुश्किल है वो. So when you want to, it is not that person, it is the way that person's memory is affecting you. यहाँ बैठ के आई एम अपसेट अबाउट समबडी, दैट पर्सन इज हैविंग अ rollicking टाइम इन अ पार्टी. यहाँ मैं दुख में हूँ, वो तो उसको मजा कर रहा है. So, my life is gone because this person cheated me of lakhs of rupees and he's having a peaceful life. I'm not. So when I think of him, my blood boils. These are the dialogues people use, I become so angry that my blood boils, or I feel like crushing him. So each person has a hate person, a person they don't like. ऐसे नहीं मैं कहती हूँ कि if your relationship will improve with this exercise, but the way that person's power to impact you today, यहाँ बैठ के सोचेंगे तो भी अपसेट हो रहा है तो वो बदल सकते हैं. So think of somebody. Here is where content free helps. I don't know what you're going to work on. It doesn't matter. So think of somebody and tell me you've got somebody.
Yes, I have.
Now in NLP we have to close our eyes because NLP will go inside. So think of somebody. Now that you have thought of somebody, do you have a picture of that person in front of you?
Yes.
Now show you with your eyes closed, and you just show with your eyes, with your hands, where the picture is. Okay. Now how big is it? Okay. Is it colored or black and white?
Colored.
Okay. Now do one thing. Make it black and white. When you do make it black and white, what happens to the feeling?
I'm feeling little bit relaxed.
Okay. Now what do you do? You made it black and white. No, now use both your hands and push the picture away from you. धक्का मार दो. When you push it away, वो छोटा हो जाता है. Make it blur and dull. छोटा छोटा छोटा. Okay, it disappears from your screen. वो चला गया. Screen
Yes.
से चला गया. Blank the screen white.
अभी तो पूरी
Okay.
स्क्रीन ब्लैक हो गई.
Now open your eyes and look at something colored in your room and tell me what is the color you're seeing in your room.
You can see green, red,
One color, one color. Now
red.
now उसके बारे में सोचो क्या हो रहा है.
कुछ हो ही नहीं रहा.
This is the magic of NLP.
कुछ हो ही नहीं रहा. कुछ फील ही नहीं आ रहा.
हाँ, फील ही नहीं आएगा क्योंकि हमने डिस्कनेक्ट कर दिया उसको. So this is what NLP does. It goes and changes the structure in with which it is recorded in our memory. तो उसको बदलने से उसका असर बदल जाता है. There are many like that, very elaborate ones, but all the techniques are average 3 to 5 minutes. उससे ज्यादा नहीं है.
राइट. तो ये जो टेक्निक्स है, लाइक आज के टाइम पे एज यू सी हर चीज का बहुत सारा कंटेंट सोशल मीडिया पे, इंटरनेट पे, यूट्यूब पे फ्री में अवेलेबल है.
हाँ.
एंड एवरीबडी इज अ सेल्फ क्लेम्ड कोच और ट्रेनर और अ गुरु और ज्ञान भंडार. ओके, व्हाट आर द consequences of not learning NLP from a right person or in a very right proper way? If
See,
I'm not learning NLP from someone designated, मैं ऐसे ही गूगल से यूट्यूब से देख के सीखा, तो उसके क्या नुकसान हो सकते हैं?
see, it is like this. Everybody's intention is good. I want to bring about a change. I want to say, like people say, why did at 50 they will say I've changed my line because a lot of people come and talk to me. I do counseling. किसी भी विषय पर हमें उसके लिए you need to understand, you need to get proper learning, then only you should dabble with other people's lives. अपने आप के लिए आप गूगल में जाके देखिए, वो सब सीखिए, वो सब अलग है. लेकिन किसी और की जिंदगी में हम when we are going to be influencing, we need to be careful about what tool we use to enter their life. Whether you call it counseling, therapy work, using different approaches or NLP. So what happens is when you don't have the background, you may miss out on points that person is saying, and उसको it is like pregnancy के लिए हम वॉलिनी डाल सकते हैं क्या? स्वेलिंग हुआ है, so उसमें वॉलिनी डाल सकते हैं. Volani is for pain, any inflammation, but pregnancy, you should understand that this is a pregnancy. You can't treat it with a Volani. So when the original problem क्या है उसके समझने के बाद टेक्निक हम चुनने के लिए हमें कुछ डेप्थ चाहिए. नहीं तो it will be like a if there is a burn, then I'm usually using Burnol only for some time. If it is a severe burn, उसके लिए दूसरा treatment और भी severe देना है. So when you don't have the inputs from a certified person or someone who has experience for it, you may miss out on points and think you have learned. So when I go and with a half learning, I go and help somebody, that person may block. This is what many coaches experience, that the person is not changing. They are not setting the goals that they have planned to do because there is something else interfering. So when I don't have, I have only a technique, but I don't understand the problem behind it, I won't be able to help them. नुकसान ये होता है कि दोनों का वक्त बर्बाद होता है, फिर इसको एनएलपी में विश्वास हो जाता है. He will not say my coach did not help. He'll say NLP किया, वो NLP काम नहीं किया. But actually it is not whether it is NLP or any other, but it is a person qualified to help another person. It is like maths teacher should not teach भाषा. वो ठीक नहीं होगा ना. Everything
Right.
has a way of approach. So if NLP is not just telling you, okay, do this technique. In basic, for example, we explain elaborately all the techniques, where it is to be used, what is it that we have to watch out for, if it is there, what we need to do. So there are backup things in order for us to get the results that we want. That kind of an understanding will come only from a teacher who has experience or a trainer who has experience in teaching that. So the nuksan, it may not damage, it may not help. But on the other hand, it may damage because the person has lost hope. Nobody can correct me. I'm beyond it. Nobody can help me.
I saw that your name comes with a designation, Master Platinum NLP Trainer, NFNLP, right? So Master Trainer, वो मैं समझ गया. NFNLP is the institution you are associated with. I want to understand ये platinum का क्या logic है और इसका क्या qualification criteria है and how you achieve this level.
I didn't even know there was a platinum level. Okay. When I started 25 years back as a certified program trainer, before that, from 97, I have always used NLP in all my corporate programs, but I wouldn't elaborate. I won't teach about NLP. Whereas in a certification program, you learn what is NLP, how the neural networks work. And today, with research, we have neuroscience se itna aa raha hai ki to prove that our NLP is very strong. So then when we are running a certain number of workshops, if you complete a certain number of basic workshops, then you're eligible to teach master practitioner. If you've completed several years of doing master practitioner, then I'm eligible to give a trainer who will issue certificates like us. So in that level, when we are going, we should have completed a certain number in order to become a gold master trainer. So this is something NFNLP has. They have never said that this will be the criteria, but they will watch his performance, and then suddenly one day I got gold master. I said, wow, now I have really grown. I did not know the existence of platinum at that time. Then suddenly one day I got this, and I asked, you deserve it because you have increased the number of programs, number of people you have influenced is gone up, number of master practitioners you are running, so you are eligible for this platinum master.
So is there any criteria of how many people you teach or how many people get certificate from you or how many hours of training you have given? Based on that, you get the certification, gold, platinum.
Each
Or
training program is for 40 hours. The basic
okay.
program is 40, master is for 36, trainer is for 40 hours. If I have in a year, I run 4 basic, 2 master and 1 trainer. Trainer, I don't do too many because once in 2 years only I will do. Not everybody wants to become a trainer because you have to invest more, you have to learn more and things like that. We don't also encourage people who have just finished master to become a trainer. But the point is, once we give, they should be eligible to teach that basic module. That is the criteria that we have. So we have stringent measures. So then, when depending upon our purpose, NFNLP encourages us to do all this, and they have criteria saying you should have completed this many number of people eligible. Then only you will become eligible for master practitioner teaching, and after you have finished this. So these are the some things that they have stipulated. Number of people that we have got certified. If I have been able to, in a year, say 20 average if you take, or 15 average if you take, in a year I may do 60 to 70 people in a year. It is not like a bulk program. It is something that, okay, Tony Robbins popularized it, but he made it like it is not about NLP, it's about life. Application of NLP in life. And that is one approach. Here we are talking about pure NLP, the techniques. Now we have something called the new, what is it called?
New code NLP.
New code NLP. But I checked with them and they said new code is about going to the unconscious. But right from the beginning, Bandler has been teaching us to go unconscious. I didn't know what is so new code about it. Also, what happened is over the years, everybody thinks I can also innovate in NLP, and that is acceptable in the NLP field because there is no one way of doing something. So there are a lot of people who have come in and contributing, and whichever you like, concepts that have come, or like clean language, modeling, all these have come into different people who are experts in that. So then, when you take any of these, we need to update, we need to upgrade, but the first few classic models that Dr. Bandler and Grinder taught, that is what we teach in NFNLP. And Dr. William Horton is very clear. You need to teach these basic, and then only you can claim they are basic practitioner, because we don't know what need somebody has when we are going to influence them as a coach or a teacher or as a leader or as a manager. So there exactly number of years hours I'm not able to tell you, but you need to have crossed so many batches, and then enough NLP gives you that.
So if someone wants to come and learn NLP, what is the very first primary step? What program or what kind of training he can start with? If he's very new, he has no idea about NLP, no prior training, no prior background. So
This is
where
like
he can
this is
start?
like asking, if a child is going for an LKG interview,
Right.
and then the parent teaches and says, and then the teacher is asking, "Do you know ABCD?" The teacher's job to teach ABCD. There should not be any pre-joining criteria for an LKG child. Similarly, in NLP, there are no restrictions. You just need to have an open mind and learn. So they have to attend the 40 hours basic program, do all the exercises. We monitor, we make sure everybody understands. We take feedback from each of them and ensure everybody's doubt is cleared. And then they have to go through the 40 hours program, practice all the exercises, understand the concepts, and then they will find that in about a month's time, they will automatically will behave differently because the neural change has brought about. And then, so that is what is in requirement. I want to improve my life, or I want to be helpful to people. But you can't be helpful to people unless you work on yourself. If it doesn't work on you, you won't have the confidence to sell it to somebody. And today I'm sitting here because NLP changed my life, altered my life, transformed my life.
As I got to know already, you do 40 hours training program, right? Is there any criteria of coming into your program? Do you like select people or you invite people
They should
or what's
understand. They
the
should understand English. They should not have psychological problems like which are psychiatric on the border. We don't take them because they can't think, they can't process. You need to think and process in this program. So the only thing is we'll ask them what they do. They say, okay, we are a trainer, I'm a manager, I'm going to be a leader, I'm going to be like they we'll ask them who they are. But other than that, there are no criteria. Except that they should also be more than 18.
more than 80?
Because you need an adult mind to process.
One more thing I got to know that you don't take more than 20 people in one batch.
Usually, even otherwise, when we were doing the programs live in person, we used to restrict to 20 because we need to give individual attention to know what each person is doing. And if the number is very large, it may dilute the approach that they have towards the trainer. And in today's after pandemic, I'm doing everything online. People are joining from Australia or from US, even from US people come, UK or from Europe or from this side, Thailand, Mauritius, somebody came from Australia. So today it has become possible for them to join, and so I need everybody in one window For that, if I have 16 to 20 people, it works out. That is, including me, 20 will work out. So I average 16 to 18. I am very happy about it because then I can see all of them. Who is we ask them to keep with we tell them the criteria is you should log in from a phone, from a computer or a laptop, and your video should be clear. So make sure you're technologically ready for attending the program, because I'll be watching who is attending, who is not attending, who is understanding. I will know if somebody is about to ask questions because I'm monitoring them all the time. So I restrict the number because to certify them, they also need to write answers in the end, which is an open book exam kind of a thing, which they can start answering. The idea is for them to learn. More than that, every exercise I'm monitoring and making sure they do the homework. During the week, I give them homework and they have to report back to me saying they have done the exercise or not done. So I closely monitor and I want to know this person is understood or not. And if they haven't, I will take the extra time to explain. So to do
Once
that, the number has to be small.
Right. Once again, I will come to the question. I had this question already to you, but as you know, I work with a lot of coaches, and usually they come to my program and they watch my videos on my channel. Probably many of them are watching right now. So, this question again, I'm asking for coaches. What kind of help they can get by learning NLP in order to become a better coach, in order to become a better trainer, in order to become a better person who is helping their coaches, mentees. So,
I will take the last one first. When I become better as a person, it is easy for me to influence somebody to become better as a person. Everybody who comes to a coach or a trainer is coming because they want to improve something. Now, one famous quote that Bandler used to say is, we do not have rigid clients, we only have incapable therapists, rigid therapists. That's the word he uses. If somebody is unable to, they're resisting, it's not because I just overheard a coach saying, if your client doesn't change, that's not because of you, it's because of them. It is because they can't change, they're coming to us. And then if I am also blaming them for their problem, that's not going to lead us anywhere. So we as a coach, I need to have the flexibility to alter my approach to according to what my coaching needs today, not what they needed last week or whatever, nobody is static. So I need to have the flexibility to move with my client in the direction that they want, and that's a coach's job. See, there is a block, I need to have the expertise and the experience, and I need to do it very smoothly, and that is where NLP comes. You see, other things like transaction analysis, a lot of analysis is done, fantastic tool to diagnose. After that, what? We get stuck sometimes. We feel ये हुआ है मैं कैसे बाहर आऊं. So we don't go into what happened. We don't even talk about it. We ask them to access it and change and come. So the change work is very fast. So it will enable coaches to bring the changes faster. I always say this, the first session itself, the change must happen. When I take a client for counseling, I'll tell them in 1 month, I want you to change your life. For that, I want you to to meet me 4 times once a week. Once a week for 4 weeks, I want a commitment from you. In 1 month, you should have changed. Otherwise, what is the use of coming to me? And you need to do what we agree you will do during the week. And then come back and tell me this worked, this did not work. Then we'll work on it, because it is not like human behavior is so complex that what works with one person will not work with another. So I, as a coach or as a trainer, I need to have the flexibility to change it. That is where NLP wins, makes it faster, smoother. The person has privacy. There is something called confidentiality. The person doesn't have to disclose what they are working on, so it becomes easy.
so as what I can understand till now, after having a good discussion, a great discussion with you till now, I can understand that by learning NLP, someone can become the better version of themselves.
Absolutely.
And that will lead them to become a better person in every aspect of their life, either in their
I will say best version of you, not the better version.
right.
Best version of
So either it is in their profession, in their relationship, in their decision, in their goal achievement, everything. So to achieve that, because a lot of people watch my content and they come to my channel, I would ask you, if someone from my content or someone from my channel wants to come to you for the training, do you have a procedure, or what kind of procedure do you have to admit people in your program? And what is the next scheduled program for yours?
September 6, 7, 13, and 14, our next basic batch is being announced. And it is
September.
in September, first 2 weekends. It is on weekends to enable people to attend. And it is from morning 9:30, evening 6:30. So they have to block their full day.
A full day program.
A full day program, like we do in live in-person program. And also, they need to register by giving their full details, making the payment, and then we will send them the material that they need to get ready. The entry is very easy, but I talk to them before I admit them. I will
Okay.
just ask them
So,
like what are they doing, and so we know it should be useful for them. So I will also know which field they're coming from, because in one class, one will be a therapist, one will be a manager, one will be a coach, different student, something. So can be homemaker who wants to improve herself, or can be someone who says I am coming more for my personal development than my professional growth. So I ask this, we set the goals the beginning itself, so that I enable them to achieve that. See, when we talk about Atmanirbhar, I find NLP as a very powerful tool to become empowered to help oneself, because what we are utilizing is the unused potential of the individual within themselves. They don't have to look for anybody else. The method is so simple. Ki mujh mein hai. That is one of the presuppositions. You have the resources you need to achieve what you want. You're only stopping yourself. Remove that part, then the resources come out and you succeed. So it becomes, that is why I said confidently your best version will come out. Best is not last, it changes every year.
right.
Mm.
So as I can see, it's been very informational discussion with you in that time. But NLP is not a subject that we can discuss in a time frame. It's a very long process and it's a very long learning that we can see. That abhi aapne bataya, the initial program is for 40 hours. So we cannot discuss the whole about NLP in just 1 hour. But we need to keep in mind that हमें ये video अभी social media पर डालना है, and people who will be watching this video, उनके लिए भी it should be more convenient to consume the content. So we are limiting this content discussion till this point. लेकिन इसके आगे भी I have many questions for you about
Sure.
NLP, about the other things related to NLP. तो वो मैं आपसे अगले किसी एक वीडियो में हम जरूर बात करेंगे, उस पे हम जरूर आपसे वो सारे क्वेश्चंस करेंगे. Also, I want to request all the people watching this video, if you have any question for me or any question to Dr. Sumathi Narayanan, you can drop me here in comment, and probably I can take your questions in the next discussion with Dr. Sumathi. Also, I will put the information that how you can connect with Dr. Sumathi and his team in order if you want to join his upcoming batch and learn NLP directly from her. Additionally, I will also put a few more important links related to NLP and some more content from Dr. Sumathi. You can follow Dr. Sumathi's Instagram and YouTube channel as well. And subscribe to कर लेना मेरा channel को भी, because इतने मेहनत कर रहे हैं सारे coaches को हम एक panel पे लेके आ रहे हैं. So it takes a lot of effort to call someone and then arrange this discussion and then bring it to you. So that will be really appreciating if you can follow, subscribe, and then give me your comment, your feedback on this video. Till then, thank you so much, Sumathi ma'am. Thank you for coming in this video. Thank you for
Thank you.
answering all the questions very patiently and then bothering me for the 1 hour long discussion. And
It should
thank you.
bother you. It should bother you. Then only I can convince you. If there is no botheration, there is no learning. Thank you very much for the
Sure.
opportunity to explain
Sure.
about NLP.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Have a good day. Thank you so much.